You can say I covered a little bit more, about $97, which I will later regret. And you can see right now we're failing the 110. We're slowly dripping down from the higher day of 114, $15,000. Having trouble holding 110s now. So I closed the Coinbase short. Oh, it's gonna hold to the downside. When you're shorting the front side of the move, it's always better to let it set in the top and use the wick, the higher day, as your risk. In this video, I'll be showing you my live trading, showing you my complete process of my trading entries, exits, scalping, using indicators, as well as real profits and losses, so you can watch and learn from my trading strategies. I've been a day trader for more than 8 years now, and I've been on YouTube for almost 3. While I have made hundreds of videos teaching beginners how to start day trading, my trading recaps, and exciting videos such as my recent trip to the New York Stock Exchange and the interview with the Einstein of Wall Street, Peter Tuchman, and many, many more. One of the most highly requested video from my audience, you guys, remains to be live trading. I've mentioned this in the past before. I'm not really a fan of live streaming trading on YouTube, same as copy trading or buying and selling alerts. These are something I'm strongly against, and for many reasons that only the more experienced traders will understand. If you're a brand new trader and you love these live stream alerts, yet you're having trouble becoming profitable, that might be why. Just saying. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, then look up market cap, float, and float rotation. While I do not do live stream trading, I'm fine recording my trading screen. That's what we're doing in this video. We'll be going over some live trading on large cap and small cap stocks on the long side and the short side with some real profits and real losses. Let's dive straight into this. So the first stock we're looking at right here is Coinbase. I took it on the short side. This happened on August 4th, and this is a day where pre-market, there was a release of a catalyst that Coinbase is partnering with BlackRock. If you guys know Coinbase, they're a crypto exchange. And this partnership with BlackRock, one of the biggest asset management company in the world, this is a huge deal. And you can see pre-market, the stock rallied from about $80 all the way to over $100 into the open. So, and this is about 3 minutes after the open. You can see I took some shares on the short side. I already cut some for a loss for about $3,600 of losses on Coinbase. And now this is just a couple minutes after the open. Now, my thesis into this is that a lot of times when we have these parabolic moves into the open, especially on large cap stocks, and on Coinbase that's been like down trading for so long, when you have these kind of huge breakouts towards some daily resistance, usually you're gonna be met with some selling and some major pullbacks. And so that's my thesis into this. So I started in some short around 110s into Coinbase on the 5-minute chart, seeing how the stock is gonna react to the higher day. When you're shorting the front side of the move, it's always better to let it set in the top and use the wick, the higher day, as your risk. So you can see this thing tested about 114, and now it's hovering around 111, 110s. If it starts to consolidate, then I'm gonna have to cut it for a loss. But now I've only started into this trade about 1,500 shares on the short side with an average about 110, and I want to see whether it holds 110 or it starts breaking down towards VWAP. On the left-hand side here, this is my Discord for my humble trader community. And now you can see on the 5 minutes here, how I trade is I usually have a 5-minute chart at the bottom. And then when the stock is really volatile, like in this case, Coinbase, it's volatile when the stock went from 80 to over $100. 116 is a higher day. This kind of range, I want to be using the 2-minute chart on the top. So when I'm trading, I like to have 2-minute and 5-minute kind of closely together for me to observe the price action. You can see right now we're failing the 110. We're slowly dripping down from the higher day of 114s. Having trouble holding 110s now. You can see I have my mouse on the short button trying to add into the weakness here. No ads here. Because the spreads on this thing, if you look at the level 2, the spreads on this thing sometimes could be 20 to 40 cents. It's a little bit tough. Oh, it's gonna hold to the downside. So this thing actually halted to the upside It was, you can see it's trying to hold to the downside right now. Really, really volatile. You can see I added some. Now I have 2,000 shares. I'm always really cautious when adding into hold, both to the upside or downside, because you never know what's gonna happen after they're on hold. And for those who are not sure of what volatility holds are, these happen, the exchanges hold the stock when it moves up or down more than 10% within a 5-minute time period. And you can see now we are halted to a downside. I have 2,000 shares short at 109.50. So usually when I'm trading, I have one main watch. So for now, it's Coinbase on the short side. But you can see on the bottom left-hand corner, I have a couple of other positions open as well. These kind of live trading commentary videos take me a long time to make, to record and to obviously to comment and to show you guys both the wins and the losses. So if you appreciate this, make sure to drop the like button if you want to see more like this in the future. So currently, with all the small paper cuts I've taken on some other trades, I'm down about 5,200 on the day. So stock is unhalted. We're now at 105. And after the unhold, I'm looking at how the stock reacts. If it's gonna get bought up really quickly and reclaim that yellow line VWAP, that's the indicator I use. If it's gonna reclaim quickly for a huge bounce, that's gonna show me some strength and I'm gonna have to reassess whether I wanna cut it or not. Or if it's just gonna break down just like this. So you can see I covered 500 shares just to be safe. I covered some at 102s, but I'm trying to hold the majority into more weakness for the $100 whole dollar mark breakdown. Now, the one thing I really regret is covering so much around 101s. In hindsight, I really wish I just covered 500 shares and left the rest right out because you can see it's really, really weak. After the holds, this thing breaks down VWAP. And, you know, if you have watched my VWAP strategy videos in the past, you know that how I use VWAP is using it as a kind of like a sentiment shift, seeing whether the stock is relatively strong or relatively weak. The action is just very different from what it was like running into the open. You can see the stock can barely bounce after it breaks down VWAP. Now fast forward now, this thing is really breaking down. You can see I had a tiny ad around like $100-ish. I added 500 shares, which I really did feel like I chased a little bit, but it's still decent. You know, that's why I'm covering that little ad really quickly around $197. So now I still just have the remainder 1,000 shares after I covered the 500 shares around $97, and now the stock is starting to bounce. But again, once again, when on these like really huge moves into the open, despite the positive catalyst, despite the high short interest on Coinbase, you know, if this thing cannot hold VWAP, that's relatively weak in my eyes. You can see I covered a little bit more, about $97, which, you know, I will later regret. But now I just have the remainder of 500 shares at 106. And you can see I locked in most of the profits on Coinbase. You can see a lot of trading is just to let your winners work once you're in a winning position. So after this, I'm not doing much. I'm just kind of watching this, you know, still scanning for other stocks and still talking to members on my Discord Humble Trader community. So you can see now I'm trying to cover up the rest of the shares on the reclaim of $100. So I covered now the rest of it. I have about 70 shares that didn't get filled. And you can see I'm all out. So I closed the Coinbase short for a total of $1,500. Sorry, not $1,500, $15,000. I have some more live trading tickers that I want to share with you guys, both on the profits and losses side. But at this point, if you find this video helpful, and if you want to see more live trading commentary like this, make sure to comment VWAP down below, and I'll make more of these videos for you guys if you find it helpful. So the next stock we're going to be looking at is PayPal on the long side. This is a trade that took place on August 3rd, I believe, and it's actually a losing trade. But don't worry, I'll still be sharing you my thought process behind this losing trade, my entries, exits, and why I stopped out, and how to minimize your losses if you're ever wrong. So PayPal this day, you can see actually gapped up from prior day's close of around $90 all the way to 102, 103s. They had really good earnings. They beat all metrics that we care about: earnings, guidance, revenue, and the outlook is really good. So that's why I was more bullish on PayPal. Now, after some long sell-off of about 9 minutes into the open, this thing sold off from, you can see up here, from 102 down to $99. And that's the area I'm watching. I'm watching whether $99 or 100 is going to start holding. It's going to start making higher lows on the 5-minute chart. I'm going to look to enter on the long side for PayPal. You can see I'm stalking this. I'm looking at switching between the 2-minute and the 5-minute now on PayPal. This is the 5-minute. We finally have the first green candle holding $100 mark. So I'm looking to get long. So now we have the first, you can zoom in here. If you can zoom in, you can see that this is the first green candle on the 5-minute. That's really bullish. So I got a starter in 500 shares at average about 173 on PayPal. And now I want to see the stock reclaim over VWAP. Once again, VWAP is a very key indicator for me. It's the only one I use pretty much. And I want to see it reclaim over that to become bullish. And while we're watching this trade playing out, a really common question I get people asking is, how do we know if this is paper trading or real money? Now, my platform is daytrading Pro. You can only hide your account number down here with the alias, with the star, 1, 2, 3, 4 stars, if it's a real account. If you don't believe me, go to daytrader and ask the support. If it's a simulated account, you're going to see TR for training, 1, 2, 3, 4. You will not be able to hide your account number. So that's a really simple way to know whether it's a real account or a fake account. Can see this thing, still having trouble reclaiming VWAP, and now it's sold off from 170 down to around 110. And I'm still waiting for PayPal. I'm still trying to be patient. I'm only gonna add on this stock, on this position, over VWAP. And yes, you can see I'm down on the name, down about 70 cents, but I'm trying to be patient. And now I'm looking at adding into the position. The stock had consolidated enough off of the $100 mark. I'm looking at on the 5-minute and 2-minute, seeing whether the stock is going to reclaim over that same VWAP indicator we talked about. I like the weakness getting picked up on PayPal. I'm trying to add 300 shares at around 150, 146. And I have my Discord community open with my Humble Trader community, always trying to explain my thought process behind my entries, my exits, and what I'm looking for, the potential price target, and what my risk is. So in this scenario, I added some shares around 140. So now I have 800 shares at 160. And once it gets over that VWAP area, I want to add more into it. I want to be adding into winners, right? Adding into confirmations if I'm long, and adding into the breakdown if I was short. But PayPal, I'm looking to add into this winner. And if I add into this, then my risk would be the breakdown of that VWAP area. And you can see I'm trying to add more now. I added a smaller share size up here, around 180. I'm trying to get filled. Again, my price target is 102 and above. I'm risking below VWAP breakdown, which is below the 160s mark. So I'm keeping my risk still relatively tight on this. So we're up about $1,000 on the stock. $1,100 now as the stock tests 101.80s. Was just so close. We're about like 10 cents away from my 102 price target. 101.90s, you can see we're looking good. I thought everything's looking pretty strong. QQQ at the time is bouncing, same as a SPY. I thought we're gonna test 102. But spoilers, we didn't, and this one turned out to be a loss. You can see that's a pretty nasty rejection right there. From 111, from 101.90s down to 101. Once again, we had that same rejection we saw earlier, maybe about like 5 minutes ago on this same candle. We're seeing the same rejection again. Now, in hindsight's 2020, I wish I had sold some into that rejection, seeing that we cannot retest the same 101.90s area. Okay, see, I went from being positive like 1100 on this name to now I'm down about unrealized, like $100, which it's okay because I'm trying to see we're gonna hold a higher low above VWAP and see whether we're gonna reclaim that area right now. You can see PayPal, it's hanging out around my average, which is at 170, and it's really breaking down. You can see it's now consecutive red candles and all the red prints going through. And this is the point where I realized, I should stop out. It's looking really weak. It went through my average. Now it's at 116, and I'm trying to stop out. So I'm about to cut here at 132, or I'm trying to scale out. 500 shares at 130, telling everyone in my community that, hey, I think this thing's gonna flush and break down. And I'm about to get out the remainder for another loss. You can see I got all my position at $100.20, and just see what happens after this. I'm glad I got out. So I got out of PayPal for about $400 loss. Hopefully this live trading commentary for profits and for losses helped you guys out. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the like button, especially if you want to see more videos like this in the future. And if you haven't seen my exciting trip to the New York Stock Exchange, make sure to check out that video, as well as my interview with Einstein of Wall Street, Peter Tuchman. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. I'm the Humble Trader, and I will see you guys next time.